That's a have a foul to give. Steph for three. Got it!
Plus.
Put him to sleep. Night, the closer. And then Steph, that's as emotional as you'll ever see him. He is hyped.
Stephen Curry just dropped a bombshell about his true feelings on the Jimmy Butler trade, and it's nothing like what Warriors fans expected. The NBA's greatest shooter admitted he was bitter and upset when the deal first went down, calling it a whirlwind that left him emotionally torn. Now, as the Warriors start to click with Butler in the lineup, Curry's shocking confession adds a whole new twist to one of the season's biggest trades. In a candid interview on 95.7 The Game, Curry didn't hold back when discussing his immediate reaction to the trade that brought the six-time All-Star forward to Golden State.
But walk us through where you were at when you got the news that Jimmy was coming to town and your thoughts.
That was a whirlwind of a day. We were about to play Utah, and rumors, talks, conversations, what ifs, and then it happens. So first you're upset because you're losing guys that you went to war with, Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here.
The trade, which sent Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Lowry, and other valuable pieces to the Miami Heat in exchange for Butler, initially struck Curry as a disruption to the team's chemistry. Wiggins, who had been instrumental in the Warriors' 2022 championship run, was particularly difficult for Curry to see depart. Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here, Curry said, highlighting the personal connection that made the business decision so difficult to process.
Went to war with, Wiggs especially, who helped us win a championship and saw him flourish for the 5 years he was here. Dennis, Kyle, Lindy, seeing them guys go who were a big part of early in the year. And then you think about the future. Yeah, we're excited that Jimmy was here. We were, again, understanding of who he was as a superstar, and the idea that he plays basketball a very similar way, trying to, as he would say, make the right play.
What makes this revelation particularly shocking is how it contrasts with Butler's enthusiastic reaction to joining the Warriors. Upon arriving in the Bay Area, Butler didn't hide his excitement about teaming up with the two-time MVP. "I get to play with Steph Curry, who I'm a fan of, just like 99.9% of the world," Butler had declared. The stark difference between Butler's enthusiasm and Curry's initial disappointment creates a compelling narrative about the complex human emotions behind major NBA trades. Let's see what Butler said before.
They say opposites attract in a lot of ways in life, and I don't think I could be a better complement to him and vice versa. They're not leaving him ever, so there's so much space for everybody else. I get the easy job. I'm playing one-on-one, or I'm playing in so much space. And then everybody's looking for him, and everybody's looking to get him open.
I think the idea that he's like the exact opposite player of me, which is kind of funny. Like, I'm shooting 16 threes, he shot one, got to the free throw line a lot. He's dominating the paint, I'm dominating the outside and the perimeter. Guys working around us has the potential to be really, really fun.
Curry wasn't alone in his distress. Fellow Warriors player Buddy Hield made an even more dramatic statement about the team's reaction to losing Wiggins. "It was emotional in that locker room. I was even more emotional because I wish it was me that got traded because Wiggs did so much for this franchise," Hield confessed, underscoring the depth of the team's initial resistance to the trade. The Butler deal came after months of increasingly public tension between the forward and Miami Heat president Pat Riley. What began as disagreements over Butler's contract value escalated dramatically after Butler missed the Heat's first-round playoff loss to Boston last season. Butler's claim that Miami would have won had he played prompted Riley's sharp retort, "If you're not on the court playing, you should keep your mouth shut." The deteriorating relationship reached its breaking point following what sources described as an emotional 2-hour meeting between Butler and Riley. Butler characterized the Heat president as unhinged and disturbing, claiming Riley gave him unsolicited and unwanted parenting advice and even told him he loved him through tears, allegations Riley firmly denies. This toxic environment ultimately facilitated Butler's move to Golden State, creating the very situation that initially upset Curry. What's perhaps most remarkable about this story is how dramatically Curry's perspective has shifted since those first difficult days. After working with Butler on the court, Curry now speaks highly of his new teammates' impact.
Seeing them guys go who were a big part of early in the year. And then you think about the future. Yeah, we're excited that that Jimmy was here. We were, again, understanding of who he was as a superstar.
This transformation in Curry's attitude reflects the professional mindset that has made him one of basketball's greatest champions. Despite his initial emotional reaction, Curry quickly recognized Butler's value to the team and adapted accordingly. The results speak for themselves. Since Butler's arrival, Curry has been playing some of his most efficient basketball, averaging 29.5 points per game with an astonishing 71% true shooting percentage since the All-Star break. Other Warriors players have similarly reversed their initial skepticism.
Steph, that's as emotional as you'll ever see him. He is hype.
Little swaggy back pedal. Steph fouling Russell Westbrook, and he is not happy to say the least. Steph is highly ranked. Maybe you want to challenge this one?
Hield, who had expressed such strong emotion about Wiggins' departure, now praises Butler as the connector on both ends, who knows how to win and knows how to play. Moses Moody has been even more direct about Butler's positive impact. It's a lot easier playing with Jimmy Butler. One, he calls for so much attention, so a lot of times my guy is looking at him on defense a lot, and he's just always making the right play, always on the lookout, so it frees up a lot of open shots.
Why does it seem like so many players love playing for this organization? And if that's so important, why do you played in other teams? Why don't we see that more throughout the league?
I just think that it starts from the head. With Steve. Steve just brings everybody together. And, you got to have guys like great coaching staff around you, too. And I know I've been in a lot of situations where I've never seen a situation like this in my life. And
this dramatic shift in team sentiment, from initial upset to growing appreciation, highlights the complex dynamics involved when major roster changes occur mid-season. While the business side of basketball often requires tough decisions, the emotional bonds formed between teammates can make these transitions particularly challenging, even for seasoned veterans like Curry. For Warriors fans, Curry's honest admission about his initial reaction to the Butler trade provides rare insight into the human element of professional sports. Beyond the statistics and highlights, these major organizational decisions impact real people with genuine connections to their colleagues. Curry's ability to move past his initial disappointment and embrace Butler's contributions demonstrates the emotional intelligence that has made him not just a great player, but a great leader. As the Warriors continue their push toward playoff positioning, the Butler-Curry pairing has proven increasingly effective. Curry's newfound freedom from carrying the entire offensive burden has allowed him to play with exceptional efficiency, while Butler's defensive intensity and playmaking ability have added new dimensions to Golden State's attack. What began as a whirlwind that left Curry upset has transformed into a partnership that could potentially restore the Warriors to championship contention. The story of Curry's reaction to the Butler trade ultimately reveals something important about championship-caliber players. They can separate their personal emotions from professional necessities when the team's success is at stake. While Curry's initial snap reaction was negative, his ability to quickly adapt and build chemistry with Butler shows why he remains one of the NBA's most respected leaders, both on and off the court.
Steph Curry! Big time shot! Makes space for the shot. By his lofty standards, wow. Taking ankles for the layup.
They got to maintain the level of play.
Steph, another 4-point play?
In the arena of legends where records are made to be broken, one man just did the unthinkable. 4,000 three-pointers, a number once considered impossible, a milestone no player in NBA history has ever reached until now. Stephen Curry, the baby-faced assassin, the greatest shooter the game has ever known. On Thursday, March 13th, 2025, with the flick of his wrist, Curry didn't just extend a record, he shattered the boundaries of what we thought impossible in basketball.
In the lower part of his back on the right side, Curry thought about three, he'll put up a three. There it is! Number 4,000! A shot for the ages from a player for the ages. Truly the portrait of an artist.
The stage was set at San Francisco's Chase Center. Warriors versus Kings, an ordinary regular season game that was about to become extraordinary. Curry entered the night needing just 2 3-pointers to reach 4,000. The crowd knew it. His teammates knew it. Even the opposing Sacramento Kings knew they were potential footnotes in basketball history. With 5:35 left in the first quarter, the first domino fell. From the left wing, Curry caught, rose up, and connected. 3,999. One away from immortality. But then, the basketball gods decided to build the suspense. Defended tightly by Keegan Murray and DeMar DeRozan, Curry's next attempt rimmed out. Another 30-footer before halftime, kissed the front rim, and bounced away. The Chase Center held its collective breath. Would this be the night? Then, with 8:19 left in the third quarter, Moses Moody found Curry on the right wing. Under pressure, with defenders closing in, the moment basketball fans worldwide had been waiting for. The shot went up. Time seemed to slow. The ball rotated perfectly through the air and splash! 4,000 3-pointers, a threshold no player had ever crossed. The crowd erupted into a standing ovation. History wasn't just witnessed, it was experienced. Think about this. Before Stephen Curry revolutionized basketball, no player had ever made 3,000 3-pointers, let alone 4,000. Remember when Reggie Miller's 2,560th three seemed insurmountable? Kings coach Doug Christie sure does. It was 2,560 with Reggie Miller, and it was like, whoa, that's out of control, Christie remarked before Thursday's game. Then Ray Allen pushed the boundary to 2,973 before retiring in 2014. The bar had been raised, but nobody could have predicted what was coming. In December 2021, Curry surpassed Allen to become the all-time leader, but he was just getting started. While James Harden currently sits at 3,127 and Damian Lillard at 2,794, neither is anywhere close to Curry's stratospheric total. What makes this achievement even more remarkable is the man behind it. The day before his 37th birthday, Curry showed that age is just a number when you're changing the game. His journey began on October 30th, 2009, when he made his first career 3-pointer against the Phoenix Suns. 16 seasons later, his impact on basketball is immeasurable. The boy who was once considered too small, whose shooting form was once criticized, has transformed how the game is played at every level. He's changed the game in so many different ways, reflected Christie. From seeing him as a little kid in Toronto shooting it from his hip to standing behind him on the sideline, and he's shooting it in your eye. Portland coach Chauncey Billups, who played with a young 21-year-old Curry on Team USA, witnessed the evolution firsthand. That was before he became this guy, which you could tell he was on his way. He's a tireless worker, a great person as we all know. What he's done, I'm not surprised. The numbers behind the 4,000 are just as stunning as the milestone itself. Curry isn't just making more threes than anyone else, he's doing it with unprecedented efficiency. While the average NBA player might consider a 30-footer a desperation heave, for Curry, it's just another day at the office. His logo range shots have become so common that fans barely blink when he pulls up from half court during warm-ups and drains shot after shot. Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who holds the NBA record for career 3-point percentage, can only shake his head in amazement. I'm desensitized to the threes because they just come flooding through game after game. 4,000 is just an insane number. When asked how the team might celebrate Curry's latest milestone and birthday, Kerr joked, "What do you get for the guy who has everything? Maybe I'll give him a day off." Curry's 4,000th three-pointer reveals basketball's future trajectory. Before him, three-pointers complemented offenses. Now they define them. From NBA arenas to high school gyms, teams prioritize spacing, shooting, and analytics that Curry's success validated. Today's youth don't just dream of reaching the NBA, they dream of shooting like Steph. His influence created a generation seeing no shot as too far, no defense as insurmountable. When Curry entered the league, teams averaged 18 three-point attempts per game. Now that figure has more than doubled. One man fundamentally transformed basketball's geometry forever. As the basketball world processes this historic achievement, the question inevitably turns to what's next for Stephen Curry. His current contract with Golden State runs through the 2026 to 2027 season, but Curry has hinted he hopes to play beyond that if his body allows. Could 5,000 three-pointers be within reach? "I don't think he wants to coach that long," Curry joked when Kerr suggested he might reach 8,000. "So don't put that pressure on him. I like a challenge. When asked directly about chasing 5,000, Curry remained characteristically present. I'm in the moment. 2,974 felt like an eternity ago. But who knows? Now I'm going to stay in the present. That's the essence of Curry's greatness, the perfect balance of ambition and mindfulness. Each shot exists in its own moment, yet builds towards something greater. Chase Center erupted as Curry's milestone three fell through the net. The arena played a tribute video featuring an unexpected congratulatory message from Andris Biedrins, who assisted on Curry's very first NBA three. Curry admitted, "I actually had what I'd call an emotional moment when I saw him. They didn't tell me they found him and got a video message. That was my vet during my rookie year." Every Warriors player received commemorative black t-shirts in their lockers, keepsakes from a night for the history books. As we process this achievement, Curry's legacy transcends statistics and championships. He's gifted basketball with something more valuable: possibility. He's proven that size doesn't dictate destiny, that tradition doesn't constrain innovation, that the perfect shot isn't necessarily closest to the basket, but the one practiced countless times from any distance. These 4,000 three-pointers represent more than points. Each one testifies to dedication, challenges conventional wisdom, and contributes to the masterpiece of a career that transformed basketball forever. Remarkably, this isn't the final chapter. This is Stephen Curry, the man who normalizes the impossible and makes extraordinary seem routine. 4,000 down. How many more to come? Only Curry knows. But the basketball world will be watching, celebrating, and marveling at every single one.
Feels good, feels good. We struggled to make shots all night. I missed some big ones down the stretch, made some boneheaded plays, so, it's only right that that one falls.
Tyrese Halliburton just revealed a shocking moment that basketball fans everywhere can't stop talking about, and it's not what anyone expected. The Indiana Pacers star pulled off one of the most improbable game-winning plays in recent NBA history, turning what looked like certain defeat into an unforgettable victory against the Milwaukee Bucks. This stunning finish adds another dramatic chapter to what has become one of the NBA's most exciting rivalries.
Down three. Halliburton's got the ball. Halliburton rises up.
With just 3.2 seconds remaining and the Pacers trailing 114-111, Halliburton executed a play that will be replayed for years to come. After Damian Lillard sank two clutch free throws to give Milwaukee what seemed like a secure three-point advantage, the Pacers deployed an unorthodox inbound strategy that completely changed the game's outcome. The Pacers lined up with all four potential receivers positioned in the backcourt, three of them arranged in a parallel line, a clever design specifically intended to create confusion and free up Halliburton on the move. This wasn't improvisation, but calculated strategy, as Indiana had previously used this exact formation during last year's Eastern Conference Finals against Boston. The play worked precisely as designed. Halliburton caught the inbound pass and immediately launched a desperate three-pointer as Giannis Antetokounmpo rushed to contest the shot. Not only did Halliburton drain the three-pointer to tie the game, but Antetokounmpo made the critical error of fouling him in the process. The rare four-point play opportunity that followed would determine the game's outcome.
Here and right in the grill of Giannis.
With the pressure mounting, Halliburton stepped to the line and calmly sank the free throw, completing the four-point play and giving Indiana an improbable 115-114 lead. When Antetokounmpo's answering three-point attempt missed as time expired, the Pacers had secured a victory that seemed impossible just seconds earlier. But wait, there is more. This game-winning sequence is particularly rare in competition. While buzzer-beating shots occur with some regularity throughout a season, game-winning four-point plays represent a far more unusual combination of skill, timing, and opportunity. The situation requires defenders to commit the cardinal sin of late-game defense, fouling a three-point shooter while protecting a three-point lead, making this finish all the more remarkable. The dramatic conclusion wasn't just spectacular for its rarity, it carries significant implications for both teams' playoff positioning. With the victory, Indiana moved into a tie with Milwaukee, both teams now holding identical 36-28 records. When factoring in the Detroit Pistons at 37-39, all three teams are effectively tied for the Eastern Conference's crucial fourth seed position. This single shot could ultimately determine which team secures home court advantage in a potential first-round playoff matchup, or even alter which teams face each other when the postseason begins. The difference between hosting Game 7 on your home floor versus playing on the road can often determine a series outcome, making Halliburton's heroics potentially season-defining for both franchises. The moment gains additional significance in the context of the evolving Pacers-Bucks rivalry. These teams have developed an unexpected tension over recent seasons, with previous matchups featuring disputes over game balls and Indiana's surprising victory over Milwaukee in last season's NBA Cup tournament. Tuesday's thriller only intensifies what has become one of the league's most compelling team dynamics.